Guess who's back? Back again. Mike is back with the word. And in the word, we left off with Abraham, trying to bargain with the Lord to spare Sodom. Why? Because his boy is down there, his nephew Lot. And apparently there weren't enough to satisfy the Lord, enough righteous people. It got down to 10, so apparently there weren't 10 righteous in there, because we're going to see what happens. He says, and Sodom and Gomorrah, by the way, pretty much the benchmark for every wicked city that's ever cropped up in the history of the world. So we'll see what's going on there. And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. A thing about that, the gate of any of these towns back then, it was the cultural thing about most of the business transactions took place in the gate. Probably a lot of political stuff, so anybody that's sitting in the gate's probably somebody of importance, and that was Lot. It says, Lot, seeing these angels, rose to meet them, bowed himself with his face toward the ground, and said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night. Remember, these angels are coming in to see if it's as bad as what God's heard, so they're wanting to see out there what's going on, but, Lot already knows, doesn't he? He's trying to convince them to come in because he knows what's going to happen. And they say, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And Lot presses on them greatly, it says. They turn in to him and enter into his house. He makes them a feast, bakes unleavened bread, and they eat. It says, But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, come past the house round about, both old and young. So this isn't the case of just a bunch of young hooligans. It's the old men and the young men. From every quarter, it says, They called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to you tonight? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And that ain't just getting acquainted saying howdy do. It's how do you look naked, howdy do. They're wanting that intimate knowledge, the men with these men. He says, And Lot went out at the door unto him, shuts the door after him, says, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do to them as is good as in your eyes. Only to these men do nothing, for therefore they came under the shadow of my roof. Now he's trying to protect the men. I get that. I'm all for hospitality. But that don't make me feel any better about Lot offering his virgin daughters to these thugs to do with. That's not the only place in there you see something like that. Cultural thing or not. I guess that's all out throughout history. Mankind's try to keep the woman down or something. I don't know. That's kind of what that makes me feel like. Anyway, it don't say boo about it. It just records it. There it is. Let's roll on. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow comes to sojourn or live among us. They're talking about Lot. And now he will needs be a judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men, the angels, reach out and they pull him back in and shut the door. It says they smote the men. These angels smote those men that was trying to get in with blindness, it says, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So even blind, they're still like groping for the door. Must have been some good-looking angels, I guess. And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou any here besides, son-in-law, and thy sons, thy daughters, and whatsoever you have in the city, bring them out of this place. So here he's got sons. He's got sons-in-law, which means he has daughters that are married. Those first daughters he mentioned weren't married. They hadn't known man. So he's got a pretty good crew here. And the angels are trying to get him to round everybody up. It says, For we will destroy this place, because of the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get ye out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-laws. He didn't have no respect in his home. That's a far cry from Abram, wasn't it? Remember when God told Abraham to do something? He had to get up and leave everything. He brought his whole posse with him. They got up and followed him. That's somebody that's got authority. Lot didn't have that, even though he's, a man of importance maybe in this city, sitting in the gate in his own family. They didn't believe him. Seemed like one is mocked to him, it says. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife, thy 2 daughters, which are here, and lest thou be consumed with the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid upon his hand, laid hold upon his hand, upon the hand of his wife, upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life. Look not behind thee. That's a key point. Or fixing to be. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest you be consumed. And Lot said to them, Oh no, not so, my Lord. Behold now, thy servant has found grace in thy sight. You've magnified thy mercy, which you've showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold now, this city's near to flee unto, and it's a little one. Oh, let me escape there. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for which you have spoken. Haste thee, escape there, for I cannot do anything till you come there. Therefore the name of this city is called Zoar. A lot of people try to use this little scenario as a picture of the rapture of the church. You know, he's getting these people out. He can't destroy the place until he gets them out. Maybe, I don't know. That's another point of contention, rapture, no rapture. I'm in here to help people, man. I'm ready to go when the Lord comes. That's fine. I'm looking for it. Hope he comes soon. But anyway, let's roll on. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Remember they told him not to look back? She looks back. Why? Because they still had family back there. Remember there were sons and married daughters and sons-in-laws that didn't make it out. She looks back, pillar of salt. Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed these cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. I seen something. You can look a lot of cool stuff, like archaeology people. They always, all the stuff they find, it never disproves the Bible. It just proves more of it. And I can't remember where it was at, but where they think Sodom and Gomorrah was at, they dug around and found all these little balls dug down in the ground. There's little balls of sulfur. That's pretty much what brimstone is. But I thought that was cool. Anyway, and if that wasn't bad enough, this last little part, it gets even weirder. Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain with his 2 daughters. And he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. So they're sitting there in this cave, and the daughters seen what happened. They think that's the end of the whole world. Watch what they do. The firstborn says to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. He perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. I don't know. I've been in pretty bad shape before. If I got in that kind of bad shape that I didn't know what was going on one night, I don't think I could do that again the next night. That's just an aside. Again, we've seen, this is the second time I think we've seen somebody get drunk and get naked. Remember Noah did that the first time too. Happens a lot in life. It says, They made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when he arose. Thus were both daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. Now, if that name ain't familiar to you, if you read on the Old Testament, there's a book called Ruth. We went through that a bit ago. Ruth was a Moabitess. That's where she came from. The same as the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger She also bare a son, and called his name Benami, the same as the father of the children of Ammon, unto this day the Ammonites, neither of which were ever friends of Israel, as far as I know. Anyway, that's the sordid story of Sodom and Gomorrah and the daughters of Lot. So we'll pick up. Good to be back and rolling down the road with you. See you next time. God bless.